Hey there cats, good time of the day to you and thank you for tuning into my channel. It's been a while since the last classic arcade game on my channel, I think, so this here is a playthrough of an old rail shooter named Ocean Hunter, and I'm playing with my friend. It's a very cool game to play together. It literally takes you an hour to complete it, so we've completed it twice, and this playthrough is a combination of those two walkthroughs, because during our first walkthrough we didn't manage to save everyone, and so a bit later we did another playthrough and saved all the divers in it. Unfortunately there is no special ending or anything for that small feat, just some extra dialogue. Still, it's kinda cool, you know, something to look forward to, and it is not that hard to save everyone here. I mean, as far as rail shooters go, I think Ocean Hunter so far is my favorite. It looks much prettier than really classic stuff like Lucky and Wild, for example. And I think it is cool to look at. I mean, it is fucking gorgeous, just look at it right now. It's beautiful. The art here is in 98, it already got all the 3D power it needed to make games look really good. So yeah, it is much prettier, much more action-packed, much more pleasant to look at than Lucky and Wild or other classic stuff. It is not as hard as, say, House of the Dead, for example, which is fucking sure to complete with a friend, even with a friend. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know how difficult the scales in House of the Dead. Maybe it is even harder with a friend than alone. And yeah, so what can I say? The only other rail shooter that comes close, but it is not quite a rail shooter, is how was it? Sin and Punishment, I believe, yeah? Something like that. Sin and Punishment? Sin and Punishment? No, Sin and Punishment, I believe, is the name of the Dostoevsky's novel or something like that. That was Crime and Punishment, though. Was it really Sin and Punishment? I don't remember, but thing is, in that game you actually had to control your character a little bit as well. You could run left and right and stuff, so yeah. No, yeah, it is really Sin and Punishment. I'm looking it up right now, so it is, yeah, Sin and Punishment. It is rail shooter but with some extra controls, as far as I remember. Yeah, definitely. I have it uploaded on my channel, it's just been a while, so I forgot the name. Either way, yeah, I guess Ocean Hunter is the prettiest game I've played so far when it comes to, you know, pure classic rail shooter stuff. And it's darn stylish, I don't know, it just looks cool. I mean, there's of course some weird Japanese stuff, like just look at the... Next time there will be a cutscene, just look at the hairstyles of the main characters, but other than that, it's fucking gorgeous. So we're playing it on a Supermodel emulator. I believe my version is 0.793, and we also use SweetFX shaders, complete with, I believe, Reshade it is named? Reshade, SweetFX and Reshade. Yeah, I believe it is Reshade. Pardon me if I've, you know, if something is not correct here, because I might made a mistake or two. Either way, Reshade is actually, SweetFX with Reshade is really cool stuff. Thing is, it is not shown here, but it packs a lot of different shaders. Like you can play your game in very stylish monochrome, or actually make the whole game to look like an ASCII art. And I have no idea how this thing does it, but it looks just great. Really picture perfect stuff. So it's just amazing. If you have Supermodel emulator and Supermodel, I believe this is Supermodel 3 or 2. I believe this is Supermodel 3. Either way, if you have Supermodel games to play, or just, you know, grab an Ocean Hunter to try it, and if you will manage to set up Supermodel emulator to work with SweetFX and Reshade, you will be able to see some very cool stuff, because really gorgeous. It looks really awesome. It's just I don't know. I probably might record another video just to showcase it. It just looks really good. So, I guess that's about it when it comes to the game itself. What else can I say? Well, yeah, throughout the game, some more lines suddenly came up into my head. When it comes to the game itself, there is only one glitch in it. Specifically, one of the later bosses doesn't quite renders correctly, as far as I understand, and some parts of his body go invisible while other parts are still visible. This is not supposed to happen, but other than that, the game runs pretty much picture perfectly. And also, and this comes down to my laziness pretty much, the thing is, our first walkthrough, I recorded it with connecting the capture card to another PC and then hooking up the first PC to that capture card in the second PC, so the first record was just, you know, ideal. When I was recorded the second run, feat of laziness struck me, and so I've decided to just run OBS on my PC. That slowed down the game considerably on some levels, and I've tried to fix it simply on montage by, you know, speeding up the game a little bit, speeding up the whole footage a little bit. I think it works. At least as far as I can see it works, but if you'll note some frame drops or something like that, this is not an emulation problem, this is just a problem because I recorded the second walkthrough a bit not quite properly. So yeah, pardon me, yeah, I was a bit lazy. My bad, really. But I think you won't even notice it, at least I hope so. It looks really good, seamless. Besides, YouTube drops quality of the video this way or another, so I guess it won't be noticeable. Well, yeah, now I believe this is totally it when it comes to video games itself, so now I will have to talk about something else. And as usual, all the themes I've had in my head just disappeared the moment I've needed to, you know, just the moment I've needed to talk about them. Well, you know what? Let's start with, you know, personal stuff, I guess, because that's the thing that I have in my head right now, and pretty much the only thing I haven't forgot about. So yeah, I'm going to talk about porn, so if you are not comfortable with that kind of talk, just, you know, click away onto the no commentary version of the video. The link should be in the description, it is almost always there. But if you're comfortable with it, well, hear me out. Porn. And thing is, I think I have a porn addiction. Some people might say that there isn't a such thing as porn addiction, but I'm pretty sure there is, because, you know, if it is not an addiction, I don't know what an addiction is. And I want to tell you about it, because it fucking sucks, you know. Thing is, I drink and I smoke, but I'm pretty sure I do not have addiction to alcohol or nicotine. Why do I know that? Well, listen up to this. When I smoke, one pack of cigarettes can last for months on my table. I smoke really, really rarely, so that's definitely not an addiction. I mean, it is really easy here. No problems here. It is a bit harder with an alcohol because sometimes I drink often, sometimes though I can make weeks without alcohol at all. Still, even when I drink every day, it is not an addiction. Why? Well, because when I sit and do something like playing a video game, or I don't know, writing some short story for my own stuff, you know, for my own, you know, enjoyment, you know. When I'm sitting and doing something I'm cool with, you know, digging into the code, I do not like drop the thing I do and I do not go for a drink, no. I do not like get up and go for a bottle, no way. When I do something I want to do, I can sit at it for hours, you know, sometimes even putting food away or stuff like that, because I really enjoy it. It especially goes for like hard coding projects. I can't say I enjoy, okay, I can't say I really enjoy the challenge, but it like fucking injures me. It rages me off and I'm like, fuck, I'm not stopping unless I'm done. And my perfectionism doesn't let me stop as well. So, yeah, when I do something, I can, you know, in fact, coding, maybe I have an addiction to the code monkeying around. But when I'm playing games and I enjoy stuff, it's the same thing. You know, let's put the code aside. It's really hard thing here. I really can put food aside until I finish some hard hack for several days. That's really not healthy, so let's put that aside. But when I play some video game or write something or read a book, and it's enjoyable thing, I do not like drop it and go for a drink, and I do not drop it to smoke or something. I may pour me a drink if I feel like it, but I do not drop the game still, you know, do not drop the book. And with porn, back on topic, it is fucking horrifying. It is awful. Porno makes me drop this thing. I mean, one moment I read a book, the other moment I fucking close it and go on Pornhub and I browse for hours there. Even though I didn't want it, I was immersed in the plot, I was enjoying the characters, I was fucking into it. And then, for no reason, I'm fucking on Pornhub browsing for porn. Man, this fucking pisses me off, really. And I'm trying to get away from it. I'm really trying, but if this is not an addiction, I really don't know what is. It is worse than alcohol, worse than smoking for me, it's fucking porn. I don't know how many people are around like that. It's kind of a weird thing, you know? We seem to live in a, let's say, modern environment when it is kinda alright to siphon money of poor guys on OnlyFans or something like that, you know? Well, it's alright to wear jeans so tight they might be as well non-existent, and I don't know, it's alright to perform fisting in public on LGBT parade or something. You know, it's alright, or at least it looks that it's alright. I don't know, from the news and photos that I see, it looks like it's a normal thing, but at the same time it is kind of not alright to talk about it. It's like isolated pockets of alrightness, you know? So those things are alright while they are staying somewhere there, but you are not supposed to acknowledge them or talk about them in any other environment or something. Weird stuff, you know? Like, really weird. So, but I think it is coming to an end. That's one thing that probably the normalizing of all the sexual stuff gonna, you know, bring upon itself, so to say. I think as soon, like, not as soon, with a little bit more time, talking about this thing will become completely normal. And once this will be truly, you know, normal and acceptable to talk about the thing, I think it will gonna turn around. Like, people will start talking about things like porn making them uncomfortable and stuff. So yeah, and once people will actually start talking about it truly, freely, you know, once when all the last how to put it? All the last, so to say, pockets of taboo, so to say, lines of taboo will fall down and people will start to talk about it freely, it will turn down on itself. People will actually be able to tell in public that they don't like this stuff. Things will change. Or at least I think so. But if this thing is gonna be normalized any further, I think it is bound to happen. I mean, so far people kinda, you know, do not notice it, do not talk about it, because it is still shameful talk. Once again, it is kinda weird because it is kinda normal, yet it is shameful. Well, once it will stop being so, which it will become earlier or later, Fuck, my English fails me today, but I hope you get what I want to tell you. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat it all again, I guess. So yeah, and what can I say? As for me, well, I'm just trying to get off of it. I'm just trying to, like, limit myself. I think it works. It's been better for the last several months since I've, like, fully recognized it and started to, like, push myself away from it. But it's fucking horrifying if to think about it, and it's fucking horrifying that it is still not recognized as an addiction, really. It is still not anyhow acknowledged as an addiction in most of, I don't know, most of, how to say it, areas which deals with addiction. So general society ain't really able to help you with this. It's kind of the usual thing, you know. Porn got widespread, but the society... Well, when anything gets widespread, like the internet, for example... In fact, since the age of the modernization, when anything gets widespread, it gets us widespread way too rapidly. Yeah, that's what I want to say, that's the idea. And when it gets widespread so rapidly, the society doesn't quite manage to adjust to the changes in time. So yeah, the porn is the usual thing. It happens like how it happened with, as I've said, with the internet or stuff. It gets widespread so fast that the society have troubles adjusting to it in time. So some damage is taken before the things are straightened out. I know, optimistic way of, you know, optimistic way of viewing things, but yeah, I hope we will adjust to it. So that's just what I hope for. Other than that, what I can recommend to you, I don't know, just... There's really no other real way of breaking the addiction, in my opinion, other than, you know, getting a hold of yourself. Nothing better comes into my mind. It is really a fight, you know. It is always a fight with yourself. When you want to do something, sometimes you're lazy, you have to just like push yourself and do it. That's what you gotta do, you gotta have strength. That's what life is about. Whatever some people might tell you, like, you just need to do that and this. Yeah, this might help, this might make it easier, but in the end of the day, this is just another fight with yourself, and no matter how hard you try it, in the end of the day, it all comes to you making the best of yourself. That's how humans work. You just gotta push yourself further, you just gotta do it. So same thing with the addiction, you just gotta do it, man. Really do not see any other way. Really do not see any other way. Speaking of addictions, I also try to get rid of a bit of excessive internet access in my life, so to say. Namely, I think that I spend way too much time looking in the web on my mobile phone when I'm not at home. And in order to get rid of it, I finally switched completely to my Nokia N-Gage, which you can see lying around in several of my music videos. I've used to carry it around, but now I'm like switched to it completely, like took my main SIM card and put it into the N-Gage, and now I'm leaving my internet phone at home when I leave my home. Yeah, when I leave. I now have like 3 mobile phones. Yeah, crazy thing. I have my N-Gage, which is my phone for now, phone, and I hope it will stick. I've dreamed about having Nokia N-Gage as my mobile phone since I was a kid. My mother never bought it, but I'm finally having some money, so I bought it myself. So I'm finally working with N-Gage. Yeah, that's one thing of the things to do I wanted to do before I die. Something like that. Oh, bucket list. Yeah, it's called bucket list on English. My second phone is my Windows phone, which was my phone, but now it is simply a phone for notes. It is very comfortable phone, you know, it is just the right size and it has the keypad which I'm really used to, and I like the OneNote system, so yeah, it is my notes phone. Maybe one day I will transfer them to Engage or something, but so far it is my notes phone and I carry it around as well. It doesn't have SIM card in it, it doesn't have connection to the internet whatsoever. And my third phone is my internet phone, which is my Android. Newer phone which is used to some weird hacks to test some things on mobile phone, and which I use as a navigator in my car, and which I used as my mobile connection to the internet. Now I tend to leave it at home when I leave, unless I have to go somewhere and I do not know the way and I need a navigator, then I have to take it with me. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to leave this phone at home, and I do not need it anywhere rather than at home either way. That's how it goes. By the way, while it struck me, I've suddenly remembered that there were a minor issue with my first recorded gameplay of this game as well. In fact, it is an issue in general. I've said that the first recording was picture perfect because I've connected my computer to the capture card in the other computer, but it is not quite picture perfect. In fact, I have some troubles with interlacing. I do not know why this is the thing, but sometimes interlacing on my capture card just seems a bit off, so the upper line is a bit misaligned with the lower line, something like that. And you can see it clearly on the screen, that the upper part of the screen is misaligned with the lower part. It doesn't happen too often, but occasionally it does happen. I do not know why. I guess it happens because I have kinda cheap video card on my PC, and I connect it to the capture card via a display port rather than an HDMI. So there is an HDMI which is my main output, and then display port which I use for recordings. Maybe I need a video card which has multiple HDMIs, maybe that will fix it. Because I use, I don't know, converter, not converter, just, how do you call it in English? Well, I use something that goes DisplayPort HDMI, you know, that special wire. I don't know how it does it, but maybe that's where the key of this problem lies. Maybe if I'll get myself, one day I'll have enough money to get myself a video card that goes with multiple HDMI ports, it will automatically fix all my problems. Maybe I need more tech, maybe I need 2 video cards. Either way, I think it is solvable with hardware, but other than that, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes for now. Either you go with some problems with interlacing or some FPS dropping from recording and emulating on one PC. That's what I have for now. Usually it's interlacing problems. You can actually see them in Dolphin Blue recording or some other recordings where I record my emulator by connecting my PC, you know, emulating games by connecting it to the capture card in the other PC. Yes, so you can probably notice those if you look close enough. Oh, yeah. Troubles. Need more money for more hardware, for more perfect hardware to eliminate those troubles. Yeah, I don't have those. Don't have money, don't have hardware. But hey, I hope this gameplay looks still rather good. It does look rather good to me. Well, that's definitely it. I don't have anything else to say about the theme of video games. Kinda weird, but I do not play much games these days around, so really don't have much to talk about. So, what to talk about? You know what? Let's talk about movies a bit more. I've recently translated a lot of old Oliver Hardy movies from English to Russian, which were never translated before. And one thing I've noticed, it was kinda crazy because I've never noticed it before. Never watched much Oliver Hardy on English, I guess. But the thing is, Oliver Hardy and Bugs Bunny actually have the same accent. Like, those things, like, you know, they say foist instead of first and stuff like that. This accent is exactly the same between Bugs Bunny and Oliver Hardy, and I'm like, man, that's something crazy going on. And then a friend of mine, he told me, yeah, you know, Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers in the 50s, 60s with their animations, they've pretty much remade all the classics, how do they call it, slapstick acts, all the classic vaudeville comedians in the animated form. So, hell, Hanna-Barbera had animated Oliver Hardy and Stan Laurel right away. So right now we're actually living in the age of remakes of remakes. We are remaking the remade content. Lousy, man, but at the same time, like, nothing wrong with it. As I always say, it is literally quite impossible to invent something new. The real problems lies in the fact that people don't really remix their twice remade content even a little bit. They just keep remaking the same thing over and over. You need to mix it up a bit. You need, like, splice two remakes, take beat stuff out of there, take beat stuff out of there, and you'll get something relatively fresh. It's like salad. We've already, like, got our cucumbers, and people now just doing cucumbers and cucumbers again and again. No, you need to spice it up. You need to get something like, I don't know, something like tomatoes, dice it up and mix it up together. That's how it works. Granted, one day it will probably exhaust itself as well, and then we will have to imagine something else once again. If it will be even possible, we are rapidly approaching the total limit of things. Or at least that's how I feel it. But so far it is possible. People just refuse to do it for whatever reason. Maybe they are afraid, but they tend to adhere to some lines, unspoken lines of, you know, genres and stuff. You need to get rid of that. You need to get rid of that. Another thing about movies which I want to talk about is that recently I watched Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor, and man, I loved it. And then I watched Brandon Cronenberg Antiviral, and I loved that as well. Oh boy, it's awesome. I think I love Brandon Cronenberg's movies more than I like his dad's movies. I mean, at least the problem with me is that Cronenberg's senior movies, what's his name? Brandon is the son, and his dad is I don't remember. Oh, I forgot. Shame on me. Brandon Cronenberg and... Well, his dad movies is, either way, a bit too vague in my opinion, you know? Like, Videodrome, it just out there. I mean, it speaks the tale about the advance of technology, and about it scares people with technology, but that's about it. It just goes ahead and says technology. Brandon Cronenberg's movies are way more specific. They actually pinpoint the problems in the whole technological area, and I like it a lot. And not only technological area. Antiviral is not about technology, actually. Antiviral is about the whole craziness about celebrities and stuff. And the weird thing is, it is pretty much not that fantastic. What with all those, you know, girls, I don't know, OnlyFans or whatever models who are selling the used bathwater and stuff. Yeah, that's what Antiviral is about. And it works. Antiviral is about people infecting them on purpose with viruses from celebrities. It's fucking awful, and it is It is not strung away too much, too far from fantastic, area. In fact, the only fantastic thing so far about antiviral is the whole premise of the antiviral is that some company managed to make viruses, non-viral. You inject it into human, but then it does not spread via natural means. So if you infect someone with herpes, it will not be able to infect other people with herpes. And that's the whole premise of the antiviral. That's how the company keeps its viruses, in check and manage to sell them. Because nobody else is able to transfer those viruses without paying to the company. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I believe if someone somewhere will be able to find a way to do it in real life, I guess there's no way to actually prevent a company like this from arising. I really do not see any other way. I mean, at this point it seems kinda a natural conclusion. Yeah, antiviral is horrifyingly real, so to say, horrifyingly close to reality. Oh boy. Yeah, that's antiviral. Speaking of technology, that actually reminded me of something else. It's kinda, a bit a private matter, but that dude doesn't watch my videos, so fuck him, Well, if he suddenly will watch this video and... well, I hope he will have it in his mind to forgive me that I've assumed that he doesn't watch my videos, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't, So, either way, I guess it won't be much of a controversy, but thing is, it just surprised me a lot. I've talked with this dude and I've tried to send him some music. I do this stuff to people. When people try to talk to me, I usually reply them with sending music because, man, I got thousands of musical tracks in my collection. Some are very obscure and I feel it is my duty to share that around. So, by the way, that's the glitched boss I've talked about in the very start. Yeah, as you can see, part of him just doesn't disappear for whatever reason. But that's the only glitch throughout the whole game, so I guess it's good. Alright, back on topic. So yeah, I've tried to send him some music and turns out he can't listen to it. I've tried to send him some music during my usual, so to say, usual lines, which is some sites which share files, so I upload some music there and send the links to him. And first things first, he cannot access the links. Alright then, I try multiple different sites. We finally find the sites that he can access the links to. Then the trouble, he cannot play the files. Why? I don't know. It's simple MP3s. Right, then I try to send him music via Discord. I don't like Discord much, but okay, I want to send this guy some music, so yeah, Discord, alright, here we go. I upload files on Discord so he can play them online. That doesn't work as well. He says that his device doesn't quite let him play the files. The device transfers him to some third-party app in order to listen to the track I've sent him. And when I actually send rare tracks, which are not available on that third-party device, it once again downloads the track and tries to play it as an MP3, which he doesn't have a application for. At this point I'm going like, mate, what the fuck are you using? And he goes like, well, I'm using iPhone. Man, iPhones is a fucking cage for all you people who right now watching this video with an iPhone. I'm telling you, mate, you are in a fucking technological cage. You have no idea how much your phone are blocking away from you, and your phone is blocking away from you a lot of content. You cannot do thing on an iPhone, it seems. It's awful, man, it's awful. And that third-party app I've talked to you about, it's the iTunes. Yeah, it turns out if you send a music via Discord to the iPhone, it actually transfers you from Discord to the iTunes in order for you to listen to the music. And I guess it does it with the same channels that the Shazam works with. If you didn't know, Shazam is an Apple's code. Shazam, whatever, that thing that helps you to search for the music, it's an Apple thing. Yeah, Apple actually developed it way back in 2003 or something like that. It's wholeheartedly Apple's code. It's fucking terrifying how much power Apple has, if you think about it. And yes, it prevents the iPhone users from listening music on Discord. It actually transfers you to the fucking iTunes. So the dude who actually has the iPhone told me. And when I told him, like, you know, use PC, man, he says, well, my PC is too old and it's like a 2000s machine. And I'm like, man, crazy, man, to think about it. I kinda, at the same time, I do not understand people like that. And at the same time, I kinda adore them because there are, you know, two ends of the same stick. At one point, people like this dude, they are like, they are free. They are free from all this technology, and this is awesome. It is freedom which I can only dream about. I'm too immersed in technology to actually get away from it that completely. And at the same time, it is a technological age, and these people, they realize it. Even though this guy has an old computer, he still has a computer. And he still has his motherfucking iPhone. So even though he's free, at the same time he's kinda not free. He's kinda jailed, just at a disadvantage. It is a weird kind of freedom. It is, you know, as if you live at the digital castle walls, and when you need something, you are kinda... You live in the woods near the castle, and when you need something from the castle, you have to beg for it. And merciful Apple lords will probably give you what you beg for. Maybe not, maybe they will tell you to get fucked. That's the whole thing. But I live in the castle. I'm fucking the lord of this castle. Well, not the lord, but I know my ways, so to say. You know? I know my ways about it. And yeah, it's kinda sad for me seeing these guys begging at the castle walls. I say, get in here, jailbreak your devices, upgrade your PCs, learn your ways around the castle, because the castle ain't going anywhere, it seems. You know, it's like these people, some people say, you know, just get away from the PC, you know, get into the woods or something, touch the grass. Yeah, thing is, you can throw away your phone and stuff like that, but the society, the world, will still remain glued to the screens. That's the whole problem. You can throw your screen away, but then you will be just you without the screen, and your friends will remain at the screens. That's the trouble. I know this because, as I've said, I'm trying to cut myself off the mobile internet as well. But I'm still in the castle. I know the line. I don't want to go beyond the castle walls and back there. I know my ways. People, even without the very basic tech know-how now in the 2023, genuinely surprises me. They're the beggars left down there at the castle walls. The scary stuff is that, so far at least, it is not too late to get into the whole thing. You know, you gotta know at least the basics, man. You got to know the stuff, the basic stuff. How to play music at least when somebody sends it to you. And the whole reason that you cannot play it, terrifying, man, terrifying. You need to fucking break it. or you will be down there at the castle walls forever. You need to break that stuff while you can, man, because later it might be a bit too late. I know it's a vague talk, but that's how it works. That's how it works in my opinion. Man, honestly, it's kinda terrifying. Oh well, what can I say? This is a final boss on your screen, and me and my friend, we barely made it with our last coin. Yeah, that was the end of our first playthrough. Our second playthrough actually went much better because I was recording the video on the same computer we were emulating this game at. And it went much better because the game started to run much slower, so we've had much more time to react, we placed much better shots, and so we ended the game 10 minutes later. Our first playthrough was like 41 minutes, and our second playthrough was like 53 minutes or so. But our second playthrough, we earned much more points, took much less damage, and because the game ran slower in some levels, in some more harder levels where there was a lot more stuff to render. Kinda like that. Kind of like, you know, software cheating. How do they call that? Time hack. Time hack, I believe. Speed hack, oh yeah. Like a weird speed hack, it worked. Oh, by the way, Supermodel Emulator, important thing I forgot to note, but here we go now, better late than never. Supermodel Emulator actually supports that weird raw input kind of stuff or something like that, but thing is you actually can connect two mice to the computer and play the game with two different mouse, with each mouse controlling each player separately. Not every emulator supports this. Supermodel luckily supports this, so with the correct configuration, as I've said, this game is a pleasure to play with. Nobody has to stick with a, you know, analog stick on a gamepad. No, just mouse for the accurate timing and stuff. Yeah, great gameplay, man. So yeah, really recommend to you to play through it yourself. Good way to spend an hour. And well, thanks to everyone who donated me at some point. That's Matthew, Regal, Dean and Pat. Thanks to everyone. Yeah, I don't have much patrons, I can just name them. And more importantly, huge thanks to all the friends who I've discovered through this channel. These are Matthew and Regal once again. Yeah, they're my patrons, but they're also good friends. And Gabriel Luna. Man, I really love reading your comments. I really love chatting with you on Discord. Dude, thank you very much. Yeah, really, money is not even as important as a good talk to me, you know? So yeah, I value my friends even more than my patrons. Sorry, but that's the truth. Money can buy you friendship, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, stay true, stay cool, and if you like this video, stay tuned for more. Thanks for being with me. Good luck.